everyone. My name is Jessalin Lam. I'm a co-founder of Asians in Advertising and co-author of The Visibility Mindset: How Asian American Leaders Create Opportunities and Push Past Barriers. Welcome to the workshop today about protect yourself from online scams. In this workshop, we're going to talk about several ways that scammers try to get personal information and money from people online. We'll go over the most common types of scams, give you tools to help you keep yourself, your personal information, and your money safe. Now, let's get started. You'll start by learning how to open a new document to use for taking notes. Throughout the workshop, you'll be able to practice your typing skills as you take notes on the scams we explore. Then, we'll talk about what online scams are and what scammers are looking for. We'll cover the different ways you can protect your information. Then we'll look at examples of common scams you might encounter. As we review some of the signs of scams, you'll be able to stay alert and avoid scammers. So what have you heard about online scams? Have you or someone you know been approached online by a person or a business you suspected was actually running a scam? Take some time to reflect on scams you may have experienced or heard about. And this gives you the idea of how common and creative these scams can be. As we go through this lesson today, you'll have the chance to type your thoughts and observations into a digital document called a Google Doc. To create a Google Doc, first sign in to your Google account. And if you don't have a Google account, you can create one. To create your Google account, open a web browser and go to google.com. Click Sign In, and then you would create an account and follow all the prompts to create your account. And the image on the screen shows the Google sign-in page where Create Account is circled. Signing into your Google account is a process that ensures only you can access your account. Open a new tab in a browser window and go to google.com. And if you're not signed in, click on Sign In, enter your username, and then you would enter your password. So the image on the screen here, it shows a user named Aisha typing in her password in the password bar on the Google sign-in page. Now let's create a new blank Google Doc and give it a title. I'll start by demonstrating each step along the way. Then you can try it on your own. Later in the lesson, you can use your Google Doc to type in some notes about different scams we'll explore together. Okay, here we go. From google.com, open the Google Apps menu in the upper right corner. So then here you would select on Docs. You might have to scroll down to find the Docs icon and then click on the icon to select it. The image on the screen shows the Google Apps menu and then the Google Docs that you would click on. Once the Google Doc app opens, select a blank document. The image on the screen here, it shows the Google Docs homepage with a thumbnail image for a new blank document circled. And then your document will save automatically whenever you make changes. You'll never have to click save the way you do in other word processing apps. Give your document a title. The title should let you know what the document is about and help you find when you would want to open it later. To title your document, click on the words Untitled Document in the upper left corner and type in the new title you want to name your document. So type in the title. Feel free to use the name of this workshop or a shortened version of it, like Avoid Online Scams. The image on the screen here, it shows an image of someone typing Avoid Online Scams in the title bar of a blank document. As you can see here, once you start replacing it, this will be the new name of your document. Now it's your turn to create and title a Google document. So the image here shows the same of someone typing in Avoid Online Scams, and from Google Document, you open the Google Apps menu, and then you find and click the document icon in the menu. Scroll down if you don't see it right away. You select the blank document, and then you click on the untitled document. In the upper left corner, type in a new title for your document, come up with your own title, or simply call it Avoid Online Scams. So now that you've set up your doc, you can type in it, add notes in it at any time during the workshop about online scams and how to protect yourself from them. Let's get started by defining the word scam. A scam is a deliberate attempt to cheat someone out of money or personal information. Scams are nothing new. People have been finding ways to take advantage of others for a long time. But the rise of the internet and social media has now made it easier. And since you can communicate with just about anyone online, people who want to commit scams, known as scammers, can use the internet to quickly and easily find and contact anyone with an online presence. Scammers can work anonymously by building websites, email addresses, or fake social media profiles, which can make it difficult or impossible to track them down. The goal of this workshop today isn't to make you distrustful of people you meet online. One of the great things about the internet is the way it allows us to connect with others. It's important to know how to spot potential scams so that you can keep yourself and your personal information safe. So now that we know what scams are, let's talk a bit about scammers and what we need to know about them or what they contact people on the internet about. Scammers are generally looking for two things: money and personal information. The money that scammers are looking for can come in various forms, including bank payments, wire transfers, credit or debit card payments, or even gift cards. They may try to get personal information that can help access your bank account, social media, or other personal accounts online. This includes username, passwords, website, and social media accounts, social security number, bank account information. They can use this information to steal your identity, contact your friends and family, or gain access to your accounts and even your device. Scammers can also make money by selling your personal information to a third party. The third party can use your personal information for their own purposes. There are also types of personal information that may seem less confidential than passwords, but are still important to keep private for the sake of your online security. So if you log in an online bank account for extra security, you might be asked questions like, what's your mother's maiden name? Or what is the name of your first pet? These security questions are designed to be easy for only you to remember and hard for someone else to guess. Be wary of anyone online who tries to get that information from you. If you use social media, you likely come across quizzes that figure out your personality, or maybe you've been asked questions like, what would your name be if you're a character in a popular TV show? These harmless quizzes are often scams designed to get answers to those hard to guess security questions, protecting your online account. Please avoid participating in online quizzes that encourage you to share any of this kind of information. The good news is you can outsmart scammers by learning the signs of a potential scam and by always protecting your personal information online. We'll spend the rest of today's workshop discussing some frequently attempted scams, so you'll know how to recognize them and protect yourself. Let's take a look at a few different examples of scams you might encounter online. After you see each example, you'll have the chance to type your thoughts and observations in your Google Doc. So here is an email, and this is an example designed to look similar to an email that could come from a bank. So if someone really received an email like this, it would likely have been a real bank's name and logo on it. And this is just to show you an example of a warning email. So take a few moments and think about, what did you notice in that email? Share what you noticed in your Google Doc to take some notes. And think about, what are some of the warning signs you may have spotted in that email example. So this email is an example of a type of scam called phishing. Phishing, spelled with PH, is when a scammer impersonates a company or a person in order to trick someone to giving up their valuable personal information. Usually phishing takes place through email, internet ads, or copies of websites that look similar to the ones you already use. For example, you could receive an email from your bank, a store you shop at, an online payment processor, stating that there's a problem with your account and they need your login information in order to fix it. Since this email states that you need to act immediately, it creates a sense of urgency to get you to send your information quickly. Just know that urgency is a tool that scammers use a lot. They want you to respond right now. Other scams may use urgency by telling you that an offer is only available for a limited time, or someone is in need of help. Urgency can also be used to make you feel excited or concerned, so that you can act on an emotion. The real purpose of urgency in a scam is to get you to finish a transaction or send information before you stop to think it through or talk it over with anyone. If you think a situation is urgent, you are far more likely to send personal information or money than you would in an everyday situation. Scams often contain links or forms to fill out. They may also have attachments. Links and attachments can be sent in emails, via social media messaging, or even text. Links can be used to collect information about you, upload dangerous materials to your device, or email your contacts. Likewise, scammers use forms to collect your information. Some scams encourage people to open attachments, which can upload a virus or other harmful programming to your computer or device. If you're not sure whether something is a scam, do not click on the links. or fill out the forms, or open any of the attachments from the questionable source. It is always better to be cautious than to accidentally give away your personal information or put your device at risk. Legitimate businesses will never ask for your login information or other personal details. If a legitimate business needs you to log in to your account, they will instruct you to open their website or app, sign in, and send information securely. If you receive a questionable email from a bank or other business where you have an account, you can call the business directly to ask about it. And if you need to visit the business website, type their web address into your browser or search for it online rather than clicking any link provided in a suspicious communication. Scammers may also use threats or a threatening tone to get money or information from you. Threats can scare people to give personal information or payment before they realize they're being scammed. Threats can make people think they will lose something important like housing or access to their computer. People can also be threatened with humiliation. For example, scammers might send an email claiming they have hacked your device and have embarrassing footage of you. Sometimes they will include an old password in the email to prove they are serious. Then they will demand that you send money in order to stop them from distributing the footage. If you ever receive a communication like this, it is best not to reply to the email or respond in any way. So what would you do? This is just for you to pause and reflect on how you would react in those kind of situations and make sure that you're aware and intentional and cautious. And now moving on to how to respond to phishing. If you receive an email that you suspect is phishing, you have a few options. If you know it's a fake email, you can just ignore it. And if the email claims to be from an organization you are involved in or someone you know, reach out to them directly. Do not respond to the email, but contact them using a known email address. Another good option is to call and speak to someone over the phone. Do not click any links or open any attachments. Finally, if you know an email is phishing, you have the option of reporting it. The next slide will show you how to do that. So this is a reminder for how to respond to phishing. And now moving on to reporting a phishing scam. If you have a Gmail account, follow these steps. Open the phishing email, and at the top right of you'll see an icon that looks like 3 dots circled here. So you would open the More menu by clicking on it. And then you would click on Report Phishing. So the image on the screen here shows an open email from the State Housing Council with the title, Urgent Form Needed. The email contains a message asking the recipient for their social security number, full name, and address. And the menu with the 3 vertical dots is opened, and what is circled is the Report Phishing button that you can click on. If you use an email account from different providers, you can search online for information about how to report phishing for that account. So now let's take a look at a new scam. Imagine that you come across this advertisement on a job site. And it looks like it could potentially be a dream job. So let's take a look. It says it would be $5,000 to $10,000 per day working from home, that you can choose your own schedule and make money as an undercover shopper. So as you can see, there are a few typos in this text. So that is definitely a potential warning sign. And after you read the post, you decide to email the address listed. You hear back right away. Susan, the recruiter, says you'll be able to start right away after you pay for a training session. Take a few moments to type your thoughts about this scam in your Google Doc. What did you notice? And be able to pause and think about what were the warning signs of that posting, so that you can be more aware of these scams online as you see them next time. And now moving on to employment scams. Employment scams often claim to offer jobs that are too good to be true. They state that they require a few hours, pay extremely well. Often scammers claim you'll earn a lot of money by doing something easy from home, or online shopping, or playing a video game. Or you may respond to a job posting you found on a website and find that the employer, they hire you without an interview or background check. The scam may start as soon as you apply for the job, when scammers ask for personal information to process the application, or might start after they claim they have hired you and they ask for your bank information to process payment. One sign of an employment scam is if you're asked to pay for anything upfront. You may be told that in order to start the job, you have to pay for training or pay fees for software, a credit report, or to have your resume reviewed. An honest employer will never ask you to pay money or provide your credit card information in order to give you a job. Spotting employment scams can be difficult because legitimate employers may also ask for personal information. They usually require your social security number and your bank information if you decide to set up direct deposit. However, do not provide that information unless you are certain that that job is legitimate and not a scam. And the saying, if something seems too good to be true, it probably is, applies here. Scammers often make offers that are too good to be true. This tactic works in the same way as creating a sense of urgency. You get excited so you don't stop to think before you act by providing personal information. The ad we look at is offering a job with high pay that only requires 15 hours of work a week and no interview is required. Scammers may offer you an opportunity to make a lot of money with almost no effort. They may pose as an enthusiastic recruiter, offering you an amazing, easy, and profitable job. The fact that the recruiter asks for payment upfront is a red flag. No legitimate job should require you to pay for training or to complete a credit check in order to begin. You also should not be required to provide personal information like your address, social security, or bank account information until you've been offered the job and can verify that the company and role are both legitimate and trustworthy. One possible sign of a scam is seeing words misspelled, also known as typos in a job listing, email, or ad. If you notice a lot of grammar and spelling mistakes, a scammer may have created the content that you're viewing. It is possible for legitimate communications from companies to contain mistakes or errors, but most will have someone proofread their work carefully, so it's not as common. And another potential sign of a scam is mistake in the design elements of the communication. If a scammer is impersonating an actual company, a company logo or other related images may not look right. For example, the color or sizing of the logo may look slightly different. However, if scammers are very careful, they can make their materials look convincing. If a communication is error-free and looks right but is otherwise suspicious, you should not trust that it's legitimate. So if you had seen this ad and received an email from this employer asking you to pay for a training session, what would you do? Pause and take a moment to reflect in your Google Doc about how you would react in this type of situation. And now moving on to how to avoid employment scams. If you see a job advertised online that appears too good to be true, verify it with an internet search. Search the name of the company, the job title, and the name of the contact you've been in communication with. You can also type in the company name and the word scam into an internet search to see if others have experienced similar scams. Don't pay for any training or other job associated costs ahead of time. And do not give away your personal information unless you have managed to verify that the job is legitimate. To research a suspicious job offer or company, here are the steps you could take. So type in google.com into your browser, and then you would click on enter in your keyboard. This will take you to Google's search page. The image on the screen shows the words google.com typed into the address bar. On google.com, you can search in the center of the page. The search bar is in this image circled, and this is where you'll type your search into Google. You would click on the search bar next to the magnify glass and type the words you want to search for. And after you verified it, another thing to think about is that perfect connection. When you connect with a person on social media who seems like a great match, the relationship progresses quickly. As you have common interests and experiences, you invite them out for a date several times, but they're never able to meet in person. You get to know each other through chatting and text. After a week or two, the person writes you an urgent message. They have a medical emergency and need you to send them money and help pay their medical bills. So earlier in this workshop, we mentioned how online scammers often use people's emotions against them. This is particularly true of dating and romance scams. According to the Federal Trade Commission, Americans lost $304 million to romance scammers in 2020. That's up about 50% over 2019. Dating and romance scams can be initiated online through social media or on other dating apps and websites. For their profile pictures, romance scammers often use photos they find online from actual dating profiles or stock photos. Scam relationships tend to progress quickly with any face-to-face interaction. When someone asks to meet in person, a last-minute emergency will often arise to prevent that from happening, or the scammer will claim they live too far to visit or have some other issue that keeps them from traveling. The scammer may soon claim to have a financial emergency and asks you for payment, gift card, or other form of financial assistance. If the scammer receives payment, the requests continue and increase over time. What did you notice? Take a few moments to type your thoughts about this type of scam in your Google Doc. So let's discuss what are some of the warning signs. This scam uses some tactics we've already covered. It often starts with someone who seems too good to be true. Scammers can be experts at telling you what you want to hear. They may even find pictures of other people online and claim that they are pictures of themselves. Next up, there is urgency. The people you've suddenly grown close with has a sudden emergency and they need your help now. Once you've sent money, it's likely that a scammer will keep finding new urgent reasons to ask for more. Finally, there's a request for payment. There are a lot of different ways romance scammers ask for money. They may ask for money transfers or wires or even gift cards to help them cover expenses. Make sure you are aware of these warning signs when it comes to these kind of scams. What would you do? If you had become involved with someone romantically online and were starting to wonder if they might be a romance scammer, reflect on how you would react. Pause and take a few moments to write it into the Google Doc on actions you would take. Take your time getting to know someone online before you get into a serious relationship. Insist on meeting in person safely and in a public area early in the relationship. Don't send money, gift card, or other forms of financial support. Listen to friends and family who express concerns about your online relationship. And when you start talking to someone online, ask for more photos. If the person you're communicating with is a scammer, they may be using the images they copied from someone else's social media account or somewhere else on the internet. To help prove that they are the person they claim to be, you can even ask them to take a photo with that day's newspaper, or to ask them to do something specific like touching their nose. This type of photo would be hard to fake or copy from the internet. If they can't send you a photo like this, it's likely they're not the person they say they are. So here is a summary: to take your time, meet in person, don't send money, listen to friends and family. You can also do a reverse image search to learn more about a photo. Start typing images.google.com into your browser's address bar. And then you would enter your keyboard or other device. You would click on the camera icon to search by image and click the tab to upload an image. And then now let's review signs of scams. So now that we've gone through different examples of scams, let's recap some of the signs of potential scams that we've covered. We'll start with too good to be true. Remember, scammers want you to be excited about an offer, a person, or an opportunity to think clearly. Next, there's urgency. If something has to happen immediately, or if scammers want you to believe there will be repercussions if you don't act right away, you're more likely to make a decision without taking time to think it through. Links or attachments. These are some of the quickest ways to scam someone: by clicking on a link or attachment, you can put your device and your information at risk. And then the last one here is requesting for personal information. Remember that scammers can use your personal information to gain access to your bank, social media accounts, or even steal your identity. Legitimate companies will never ask for your bank account information, your passwords, or PIN numbers. A request for payment is one of the clearest signs a scam is underway. Scammers ask for money transfers, gift cards, or other types of payments to help cover expenses. Another one is typos. So when you see spelling errors in the communication, it may have come from a suspicious source. And threats can cause you to worry that you'll get in trouble. They are designed to make you take action because you're afraid of losing something or being embarrassed. So protect yourself from online scams. Now that you're familiar with a few different online scams and know how to spot common signs of scams, keep in mind that many of these signs also apply to other kinds of scams using different forms of communications. For example, scammers use similar tactics to scam people over the phone or via text message. You can always use your notes as a reference to remind yourself of what you learned today. Your Google document is saved automatically. You can always open it again to read your notes or to add more notes in the future about scams. From google.com, open Google Apps menu in the upper right corner. And then that's your notes. So here is a recap when it comes to what you learned today. We covered a lot of information about scams and talked about strategies you can use to keep your information safe. You set up a Google document, learn to take notes on the scams you learned about. The document you created will be saved automatically so you can return to it anytime to reference. We talked about what online scams are, discussed the two main things that scammers are looking for from people online. That's money and personal information. We discussed ways you can protect your money and information from scammers. We went through 3 examples of scams: an email phishing scam, a job scam, and an online romance scam. Finally, we reviewed the major warning signs of scams. While we did not cover every type of scam today, being able to recognize the signs will help you identify other types as well. The goal of this workshop is not to make you afraid of using the internet. Instead, the goal is to provide you with valuable information about scams. If you keep this information in mind as you use the internet, you'll be able to explore freely while keeping your money and personal information safe. If you enjoy these kind of video lessons, subscribe to Grow with Google YouTube channel at youtube.com/Google Career Certificates. This channel publishes new videos regularly covering topics that can help you grow your skills and your career. And if you're looking to start a new career or land a competitively paid job or build skills to grow your career, you can check out Google Career Certificates. They give you a path to in-demand jobs with top employers that are currently hiring. You can earn a certificate and prepare for a new career in a high-growth field in under 6 months, even if you don't have relevant experience. You can learn at your own pace and complete the online program on your own terms. Certificates available include data analytics, business intelligence, digital marketing, IT support, automation, user experience design, project management, and cybersecurity. You can get started at grow.google/certificates. And there's free online training and tools at google.grow/grow. Grow with Google is an initiative to help prepare you for work, find jobs, and grow your business. It's great for job seekers to grow their skills, to find new jobs, teachers to learn how to put the latest technology to work in and outside the classroom, small business owners to build your online presence and find new customers, startups to learn how to get your ideas and exposure, developers can sharpen your skills and master new ones. So you can learn more visiting this website, google.com/grow. Thank you so much for attending today's workshop. We truly value your feedback. If you would like to take a moment to share your thoughts, we really appreciate it. You can access the survey at g.co/grow/feedback or use your mobile phone to scan the QR code on the screen and then click the banner that appears to access the survey. Thank you so much.